everyone. Welcome to the MindSet podcast. I'm your host, Chris Slywka. Today we have Brian Schiller back for like your fourth or fifth episode. And today we're gonna take a little break from the mindset part of things and talk about our upcoming event out down in Dale Hollow.
Dale Hollow.
So unfortunately, I haven't been able to make the tournament last year or the year before that.
Yeah, about that.
The year before that, we haven't met yet, and I think last year my car got stolen. So,
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
So,
yeah, I forgot about the old car theft in
yeah,
old Chirac.
Yeah, that's only getting worse. That's why I want to get out. But
yeah, dude, I don't know how you live in Chicago, man. It is Jesus. I was thinking about the other day going down there to fish the harbors because I saw Alex Perrick down there catching cohos.
Yeah.
Just like right around the docks and stuff. And I was like, do I really want to go launch the big boat down there and like have to deal with that? You know? I'd rather go up to Milwaukee.
That's true. And you're probably closer, aren't you?
It's probably the same either way. Because I could either jump on 90. I'm like right in the middle of 90 and 43. So, you know, I think it took me, because I went up and picked up a new kayak yesterday up northern Wisconsin. I think it took me an hour and 20 to get to Milwaukee or something. Because I'm super far west, right? So, but I just took 43 the whole way in.
That's right, because you're closer to Madison than anything else.
Yeah, like I said, at my house, like if I turn out of my neighborhood going left, it's about 15 minutes to 43. And if I turn right out of my neighborhood, it's about 10, 12 minutes to I-90.
Yeah.
So it's just a straight shot in either one, you know?
Yeah. It's just which one's safer.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, Milwaukee's got its issues, and same with Racine after all that crap that happened there, you know, but whatever. It is what it is.
But all right, sir. So you're the kind of the mastermind behind this whole event. So
I don't know about mastermind. that's
well, it takes a lot of moving parts, but
yeah, it was a group effort to like kind of collaborate and come up with it. You know, we Paddle and Fin hosts went down there as kind of like a little get together among the hosts. Gosh, it's been 3 years now, I think, maybe 4. But you know, through one of our previous hosts, Ryan Milford, he did a podcast with a gentleman from Tennessee, JL Folks. Shout out to him, country music singer, star, whatever. But he had visited East Port there, and he had recommended that we go check it out. And East Port Marina falls on the Obey River, which is part of Dale Hollow Lake. And we all went down there. We got invited down to just kind of go hang out for a few days and check out the marina. They gave us a cabin to stay in, and you know, we shot some video and stuff like that, and did some promotional stuff for them. But you know, we got to talking down there when we were doing the meetup, and at that time we were kind of developing that trail series we did for a year that we gave a shot. And you know, we were like, we would like to do a big open event that's centrally located in the country, or in the kayak mecca, so to speak. So we had approached Richard there at Eastport and said, hey, you know, we're thinking about doing this. You got a beautiful facility here. Could we use your spot as the check-in and awards ceremony place? And he's like, well, I got this barn that we just built. It's a wedding venue right up on top of the hill. And why don't you guys do it there? And we were like, okay. And we went and checked it out, and it's beautiful facility. I think because I did a podcast with Richard a couple weeks ago. I think he said that was built about 6 years ago now. But it's a brand new facility. It sits on 90 acres of land. So we were like, this is great. There's plenty of parking here. He's like, if guys wanted to camp here, they could. And I remember the first year we did it there, one guy came and he came up to me and he was like, never been to a kayak fishing awards where there was a chandelier hanging in the room. So I mean, it's not like ballroom. It's actually looks like a barn, but it is a beautiful brand new facility, super clean and really nice. And my co-host Jay Randall is actually getting married there in May, so I go down for April. I come back in May for Jay's wedding. But it's a beautiful facility, and we partnered up with them, and each year it continues to grow, and we knew that's what it would be, right? Like we see that in the kayak fishing world. These new trails pop up and then they slowly grow as things get dialed in and people, word of mouth spreads and things like that, especially with this situation, right? Because we get a lot of people traveling from out of the state of Tennessee coming down there. I mean, just our people alone, but Eastport, they give us a lot of lodging options, food options, and things like that. So the anglers are taken care of. So this year, back by popular demand, they have a bunch of luxury houseboats right there that are docked up at the marina, and they rent out rooms on those houseboats for $50 a night, and which is cheaper than any hotel room you'll get. And
Absolutely,
it's a little
especially in
nicer.
today's market.
Yeah, you got a I'll keep it clean. You got a toilet, you got shower, you got a full kitchen, full refrigerator. So if you want to cook your meals while you're on the road, like you have that option. It's got the front deck and the upper deck, which usually when I go down there in the evenings, guys are hanging out on the front decks, just shooting the breeze and bouncing back and forth between houseboats. And that's kind of what it is, like, yeah, the tournament aspect is there, right? But it's almost like a big hangout, a big get together, right?
Yeah,
And that's kind of how we wanted it, is like kind of like a big kickoff for the season. Granted, some of the national trails have already kicked off for the year. Seems like every year they're going earlier and earlier, but which is fine. But we wanted to have this kind of at the beginning of the season, a way for our listeners to come hang out. Like, even if you're not fishing the tournament, we encourage folks to, just come down, hang out, have a good time, fish with some of the hosts, fish the tournament if you'd like. And, so getting back to the lodging, like they have those houseboats they do for $50 a night. They have cabins. So if you're coming down in a group and you need a cabin for 3-4 guys, they have that if there's any left. And then this year, Richard offered camping for free for any angler that wants to come. You can camp up by the barn, no charge. They're going to leave the barn doors open so that way you can charge your stuff and use the bathroom. There is no shower up there, I believe, but you can, I'm sure, talk to somebody to get a shower in between the paddle and fin house, the other people that have cabins, or the guys down on houseboats. So like lodging is super cheap, which is something that we all look at as anglers when we travel for tournaments. Like we wanted this to be low cost but high impact. And when I say high impact, I mean like the impact of the brotherhood of hanging out with fellow kayak anglers and having a good time, right? Like yeah, again, there's that competitive edge, but we want you to walk away going, what a freaking awesome weekend I had, you know, met these cool people, got to hang out on one of the most beautiful lakes in the country, and walked away with either some tournament winnings or some door prizes or whatever it may be, you know. The way we always look at it is, you know, everybody goes home a winner. You know, we work with some great companies to get some products in the hands of folks to take home, and that expands every year. And you know, we invite anyone and everyone down to come take part in this event just because it's such a great time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know everybody leaves with something. We've been doing that since the start of it.
Right,
Like,
right.
I mean,
Well, well, so for instance, last year, there was 3 guys that didn't catch a fish in the event, and at the end, Richard, who's a super generous man, you know, said, "Who here didn't submit a fish during the tournament?" And Susie was sitting there, and she's like, "There was 3 guys, you know." And Richard's like, "Stand up," and he thought he was gonna like. I think they thought, you know, like, or the guys that didn't submit a fish were kind of embarrassed, which I get. Nobody likes skunking, right?
yeah,
But Richard's like, trust me, you guys are going to want to stand up. So Susie called their names out, and these 3 gentlemen stood up. And Richard said to Susie, pick a number 1 through 10. She picked a number, whispered in his ear. And so then he went to these gentlemen and was like, you know, pick a number 1 through 10. The closest is going to get something to go home with. And the dude that was closest, I think the number was 7, and he picked like 6 or something. And dude got a brand new Newport NK 180 motor to go home with. And the whole place went nuts, you know. So, I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, we give away cool stuff, you know, which is great. And it encourages people to come back because they see some of the prizes and stuff we give away: Pelican coolers, cases. I know John Rapp got the one Ace Water Sports up by him in West Virginia to give away a zip line tour and a whitewater rafting tour as well. So
yeah,
like we usually have a big crowd from West Virginia show up for this event. So, but you know, say it was you coming and you won that, like, heck, now you can base a small family getaway around that,
mm,
you know.
with
Um,
something that I won.
yeah, yeah. So this year we changed it up a little bit. We're not doing like the super big checks. We're going to have some form of like actual check for the top 10. It'll be a little smaller, but we got the medallions made like that, you know, like KBF hands out and things like that. So we'll have those for the top 10 finishers. That's always super cool. Like, I've had numerous comments over the years, like, I just showed up, man, because I wanted to go home with one of those big checks to hang on my wall. You know what I mean? Which is cool, you know? And that was one of my ideas from, you know, fishing KBF, right? Like, we've all fished tournaments amongst the paddle and fin group. Susie's run multiple tournaments, same with John Rapp and a few others. So as a collective, you know, we kind of sat down and was like, this is what we like about the tournaments we fished, whether it be grassroots or national trail stuff, and this is what we didn't like. So let's
Yeah,
do all these things that we did like, that anglers like, and incorporate them into this one event. So this year too, with your entry fee, if you're entered into the tournament, and it's the cost of this is not coming out of the prize pool, but if you're entered into the tournament, you get free dinner Saturday night at check-in, and they do a huge spread of.
yeah. So
Usually
heavy
they
talk about the
the
taco night
the
or the
taco bar,
nachos.
dude, tacos and nachos. But this year, I guess they're gonna do brisket, which is even more amazing, right?
Yes.
And it's super cheap, um, and you know it's you know Paddle and Fin is covering that cost. So like, we want you guys to come down after check-in, long day on the water. There's nothing worse than having to drive around and find some place to grab some food or go back to your camp or hotel room, Airbnb, whatever, and cook some food, right? So, we're going to feed all the anglers Saturday night. East Port's going to have dollar draft beers for everybody, both in the check-in before the tournament starts Friday night, which will also be done virtual. So if you can't make it, not a big deal. Then the Saturday night, check-in after day one, and check-in after day two in the awards ceremony. So, which it's like a big party, man. And it's so cool to see, like, the one takeaway I've gotten is over the years, like, we'll usually get a big crowd from Ohio, West Virginia, up here down in Tennessee, and seeing all these guys kind of intermix and just chatting about, their home waters and what they do, in their states and things like that. And a lot of friendships have been made because of that. And, guys are traveling to fish tournaments in other states now because they met so-and-so down at, the big Paddle and Fin event at Dale Hollow Lake. So kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, once you get everybody together and they all have the same main goal in common of fishing, it's easier to become friends,
Oh yeah, 100%, man. Like, I think 98% of my friends now I've met through fishing and kayak fishing.
Oh yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing. It's like that's why I like going to the trade shows too.
Sure.
Because
Yeah.
you see guys only once or twice a year, but
yeah,
it's like you never miss a beat once you see them.
Yeah, I'm finally done with trade show season, dude. Oh my god, I've traveled so much this year, but you're exactly right. Like I've Walton Doyle and what's his name down from Atlanta area. Like I only see them either at ICAST or I just saw them at the Classic. Occasionally, if I fish like a KBF event somewhere and they're going, like I run into those guys. But it's the same thing, man. Like I saw those dudes round the corner at Classic, and instantly, dude, we walked up to each other. The bro hug, the handshake with the pat on the back. And there's something special to be said about that, dude. It's I wish I could spend more time, and those guys always harass me, man. When you coming down to fish, and I'm like, I never have a good answer for that because I always got something going on or like have limited vacation time or no vacation time, things like that. So, it's one of those things where it's like I've met those guys through, the podcast and fishing and stuff like that and mutual friends. And, but I know if I decided tomorrow I'm going to go to ATL and go catch some freaking bass, I can call those two dudes and they will drop what they're doing to like go out and fish with me. You know what I mean? And it's pretty special. Like the little kayak community, like the relationships we all make and stuff like that. Just through the actual fishing part of things, we all have a common interest. So that's kind of, going back to the event, that's kind of what makes it special. It's just a bunch of like-minded people hanging out, having a great time and enjoying a weekend together and forming new relationships and touching base with old ones and so on and so forth,
Yeah, and it's a beautiful place to be at too. And
dude,
got huge largemouth, huge smallmouth.
Yeah, world record smallmouth lake. I think Richard said some stat, and it may have changed slightly because I know there was one big one caught somewhere else, but I think 4 out of the top 5 biggest smallmouth came out of Dale Hollow Lake. But I always say, don't sleep on the largemouth because there's just as big of a largemouth out there to be caught. I mean, I think Adam Reiser, the one
Yeah,
year, caught a 22 or something.
The first year we did the tournament, wasn't it one on largemouth?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Well, largemouth day 1, smallmouth day 2.
Yeah,
the wind and the weather changed, so I think
he was bet fishing them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, the guy.
I mean, it's Adam Reiser, dude.
Yeah.
Dude's a hammer. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah. But I mean, it just shows you like whether you love largemouth or smallmouth, they're both there, and they're both that you can catch. Your personal best at any given point out there.
Oh yeah,
and there's so much water.
We've had some guys over the years break their PB. I think JP last year,
the night before the tournament, right?
Yeah, caught a giant, dude. It was like 6-7 pounds.
Yeah.
It was huge, and I think that was his new PB largemouth, and that fish was staged up, getting ready to do the deed, so to speak. But yeah, man. I mean, it's anybody's game, down there. You don't need to know the lake super well. I mean, obviously do a little bit of research, right? But and the unique part about Dale Hollow is, right, you have the actual lake, but there's so many creeks and rivers and things like that flow in and out of Dale Hollow. So if you're a river guy, you can go fish the river section and do really well. If you're a lake guy, you can go up to the main lake and hit some really good spots up there as well, and fish to your strengths, so to speak. So that's the beauty of Dale Hollow, right? Is you can fish to your strengths and what you like to do, and especially that time of year, I think the fish will be on bed. If not,
we're going later than we normally go. Normally we'd be packing up, getting ready to leave next weekend.
We'd be there right now.
Yeah,
right now or next weekend. Yeah, but if the fish aren't on beds, they may have already just spawned, which means they'll be putting on the feed bag to fatten back up after doing the deed,
which is fine for us because we go off of inches, not off of pounds anyways.
Exactly.
So
exactly. But yeah, it'll be interesting this year because we're doing it like 2 weeks later. Yeah, that's right. We did it 2 weeks later. So last year would have been the second weekend in April. Now we're doing it third or fourth, I forget. But yeah, it'll be a good time, man, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody down there, because that's a lot of times, like, that's the only time of the year that as paddle and fin hosts get to see each other. I mean, a few of us see each other throughout the year. Yeah, right. Exactly. Like Brad Hicks, he never leaves Ohio except to go to Dale Hollow Lake. And so it'd be good to see him, Matt Souders, Sean Lavery drives down from Pennsylvania. I don't think Dustin's going to make it up from Texas. He's got a bunch of work stuff going on and things like that. But it's just good to see everybody and be able to spend a couple days together and, all that good stuff. So.
Absolutely. And then there is kayaks for rent out there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Richard's got a few demo boats, new canoes. I don't know if he's got any vibes still, but he's a new canoe dealer. He's going to have some pretty incredible deals on paddles, kayaks, and accessories, like to the point where, like, if you're looking for a Bending Branches paddle, you're not going to find a better deal anywhere else. I'm going to tell you that right now. I can't say what it exactly is just because he can't advertise that due to his contract with Bending Branches. But even if you're not going to come, call East Port Marina. I mean, the discount is hefty. I wish I could say what it is, but it's going to be more than 30%. I could tell you that.
I know who I'll be calling that weekend.
Yeah. So, Yeah, your guys are going to want to jump on those deals, and they could ship out too. Like I said, if you can't make the event. So it's super cool. One thing I forgot to mention, like in regards to the tournament, is it's 100% plus payback. So every dime that goes into the prize pool stays in the prize pool. Paddle and Fin covers the Tourney X fees. They cover the PayPal fees. So like 100% of your funds are going to the payout of the actual tournament. Plus, we always add some stuff in there, plus all the prizes and things like that. So just wanted to kind of throw that out there because I know that's always a concern with anglers when they're looking at tournaments and stuff. So.
And for the people that haven't been there, that's like pretty much a full like kayak shop where they could get accessories and everything like that too, right?
Yeah. He's got a shop set up in the marina down there. They got which the restaurant is right next to it or combined with it. And it's basically a floating dock, right? It's all down there on the water. And then they got a little warehousing area up the hill where they store all the boats. But they do have like floor models there. They have all the paddles down there, yak gadget accessories, things like that. So super cool place, tons of stuff. And Richard is got some old inventory he wants to get rid of. Excuse me, so we could bring in some new stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's been a half an hour. Is there anything we haven't covered on it?
I don't think so, man. I mean, if you guys are listening, you want to get signed up, the link is down in the show description. So check it out. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email paddleandfin@gmail.com or hit us up on the socials. We'll get them answered for you. Go to eastport.info for all the info on the marina. Get their phone number. If you're looking to book a houseboat room, you'll definitely want to call there and make sure your houseboat room's reserved. Camping is free. Just show up at the marina. They'll direct you where to go and show you where to set up. So I mean, that's the thing. Like, I know we got Zach Soler coming down from Upper Michigan, and he was asking about lodging, and we're like, you can camp for free, or get the houseboat room or whatever. And he's like, I'm just going to bring the tent. I'm going to camp for free. This will be the best thing ever, have no lodging costs. So basically it's just this tournament fee and food and gas. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So kind of cool, but yeah, man, it's going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to seeing everybody there. And like I said, if you got any questions, feel free to reach out.
I think the date is April 22nd and 23rd.
Correct.
I don't think we mentioned that this whole podcast.
Well, it's a 2-day event. We said April. We were talking about it roughly, but yeah, April 22nd, 23rd. And get signed up. And we'll be good to go.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no sweat. Thank you. Cheers to the morning coffee.
Oh, I know. I already finished mine.
That's why I told you I was waiting. My thermos is right here.
Completely filled up.
Yeah, I only got a half pot in. The other half was still brewing. So when we're done here, I guarantee this is getting filled up because I got a bunch of work to do this morning on the computer. So
here, let me end this one. It's good talking about it. Let me end it here, sir.
All right, man.
All right. Bye.